Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. Today we're talking about everything to do with the Los Angeles Liftoff Film Festival, Amsterdam and Paris. I'm Natalie, this is Rupert and
groaning away there, and I'm Claire.
I can see that there's a few people in the chat room, so if you are watching, hello and welcome. We have L'Oreal?
We've got Lee in Ireland.
And Michael from Holland. Thank you so much for tuning in. Where are we starting today?
Let's start with Amsterdam because this is our final live roundup for Amsterdam because that closes on Monday at 10 p.m. GMT. Had to remember because we'll be switching over on Sunday night. 10 p.m. GMT, that festival and voting will be closing. And then shortly after that, we'll be announcing the network round and which audience choice finalists and jury choice finalists are heading through to that.
Amazing. And that's just what the Los Angeles films have come out of. And today we're announcing the winners of the Los Angeles Liftoff Film Festival. So the overall winners, the season award nominations, and also the films that have been selected for the Audience Choice Award. So before we crack down into the films and find out which films are currently in the lead for Amsterdam and Paris, we will do LA at the end, but because our festivals run in a similar format, I think it's important to mention here what our prizes are and what those things I've just mentioned actually mean. So let's start with winners. So winners of each of those festivals will get to screen in their own cities in 2022. So for the Los Angeles winners, they'll be joining us at Raleigh Studios in September for our 2022 edition of the festival.
Yeah.
And it'll be similar for Amsterdam. Films that win from Amsterdam will be screening at Lab 111, and films that win from Paris will be joining us at the Lucinaire Cinema. And I absolutely love that venue. Do you want to tell us what Season Awards means?
Our Season Award nominations, the trophy of which you can see there is our annual Red Carpet Award ceremony. Super exciting, where we get to recognise the best of the best that's come through our platform. Nominations can be picked up from any of our festivals or showcases throughout the year. And they're in 14 different categories across the board. So very exciting.
And then we have the Audience Choice Award, where 4 films are invited to take part in YouTube stream in a commentary director's style roundtable, where we delve deeper into the filmmakers' journey when making their film and what they are hoping to do in the future. It's a really, really fun stream.
Really nice.
And it's an opportunity for the audience who have been watching their favourite films throughout the festival to ask the directors questions directly.
Hello to Donald, Tanya and Julia. And anyone else who's watching, do let us know which festival you're screening in, what the name of your film is, and we will shout out. But I think we should get going with Amsterdam. So we'll be taking a look at the 3 programmes, and we'll be looking at the stats. Now, these stats are always changing. If you follow your Daily Score emails, you can see live links and breakdowns. But the stats in the films that we're shouting out were as of about 2 hours ago. So, we'll see how this changes until the festival closes on Monday. We've commented on this before, but there's always a lot of activity in those final days over that final weekend. So, it'll be exciting to see. Let's start then with our Judges Select Shorts. And we've got 43 people watching this programme, 27 votes. So, like I said, lots of movement, 454 playthroughs, but people have been watching from 19 countries.
Wow.
And Where the Birds Are Gone is still in pole position on 9 votes. Haven't seen much voting changing going on this programme yet, so people are still waiting until they've seen as much of the programme as possible, which is great. But this is directed by Jana Stolp from Germany. It is a documentary short. Doro suffers from depression and Parkinson's disease and lives together with her husband Friedrich. Since their daughter left home, she is struggling to find new meaning in life. An emotional portrait about empty nest syndrome, illness and motherhood.
And a new one.
A new one. Reality Does Not Need Me. This is a really interesting experimental music video, but longer in duration, from the Netherlands. It's 19 minutes, but very, very cool. This is directed by Booba Dola. A poetic short film about mortality. How is death present in our everyday life? How can we practice dying? So there you go and check it out if you're looking for something different. And on the same number of votes there, because these are tied on 4 votes, is Yusuf E. Ramiro. Also from the Netherlands, directed by Bas van Est. and again a documentary short. Among the colourful and crumbling Baroque facades of Havana's Old Town, a group of young boys bet cigar cards on which of them can race to the street corner the quickest. One of them is Yusuf Fernandez Perez, and for him, running would become the defining narrative of his life.
Okay.
Very cool.
There's a few more people who have joined us in the chat room that we can see here. So welcome to everyone. We'll do our best to shout out what you guys are mentioning in the chat room throughout. But let's continue and let's move on to Trendsetter Shorts. So we're on 100 viewers, 90 votes so far. We've had 1,079 playthroughs. We broke that 1,000 barrier.
Break the barrier.
And we've got an amazing 34 different countries tuning in for this program, which is
diverse audience.
Diversity at its best. So currently in the lead, we have Chess Game, which is on 15 votes. And this is directed by Bruno Beresic, and it is an experimental drama from Croatia. So during a chess game, two friends lead a discourse and the stories begin to unfold. Following closely behind, and the filmmaker is in the chat room for this one, we have Sofa, which is on 13 votes. So, Donald, you're very close to getting that pole position there. And it is directed by Donald Whittier. And it is a Mexican web series. So, a struggling production company hits pay dirt with their new reality TV series when the staff realize that their office sofa is a portal through which the dead can speak to the living. Amazing. All right, moving then on to the features.
So we've had 42 people watching, 39 votes. So actually this is a programme where most people have got their votes in already. 217 playthroughs and people watching from 13 countries. Still in pole position, again, another film from Donald, which is really, really cool, but a feature this time, and apologies for the incoming pronunciation, is No hay barrio para las mujeres, There Are No Slums for Women, which is on 16 votes. Very impressive. Life is difficult for Anna, desperate for resources and struggling with nascent adulthood in Maquista, Mexico. She doesn't know where to turn. When she finds a bag of money, Anna believes her dreams have been answered, but as she'll find out, life is rarely so simple. So yeah, go and check Donald's film out there, his second film in the festival, shout out. And then just behind this on 13 votes is Dilettantes, directed by Sarah Gibson from the USA, which follows the story of four friends over the course of 4 pivotal years in Boston. As they mature from bright-eyed students into uncertain adults, each one struggles to find direction and purpose, and the lines between friendship and romance are blurred.
So there we have it. I think it's important to mention here that these are the votes that are coming through from our audience. But we do also have jury watching all of these programs. And when the network round is announced next week, we will be announcing the audience choices, favourite films that will be migrating into the network round, but also the juries. And that's the same across the board. So for Paris, which we're about to move on to, we will be doing the same thing. We have a jury currently watching, and the same for our other festivals that are closely coming up. Okay, I'll kick off with this one. Okay, so Trendsetter Shorts, currently on 55 viewers on 31 votes, 392 playthroughs and 24 countries currently watching. This is week 2?
Week 2. This one closes in another week's time. So Amsterdam closes next week on Monday the 1st. Paris closes on Monday the 8th.
Yeah. Okay, so the film that is currently in the lead on 6 votes is Swim, and Swim is no stranger to the Liftoff Network, and this is directed by Lee Williamson from Ireland. Colm Daly, a 70-year-old open water swimming veteran, tells us of his 50-year experience and passion for Irish water. We're actually screening this film here at Pinewood soon.
Which is very exciting. Lee won one of our monthly editions of the Liftoff Sessions, which is our online festival, which is where finalists are reviewed by a jury and one winner is selected every month, who then screens with us here at Pinewood Studios and at Los Angeles Liftoff. So we're really excited. I also saw Lee for one of our focus groups for this Paris festival at the beginning of the week, and it was really nice to see him engaging with the other filmmakers. So yeah, amazing, and it's such a pleasure to have you as part of our network.
So Swim is currently on 6 votes. We do have 3 other films that are tied on 4 votes. So we'll just show their posters and their directors. So we have Alexandre, directed by Killian Thomas from France. Hidden Secrets, whose filmmaker is currently in the chat room. And then Laurel Jones and Emmanuel Laurel from the UK. And then we've got My Brother, which is directed by Charlene Aguala.
Very
there
good.
We have it.
Amazing. So on to then our New Voices, which has had 61 viewers, 47 votes in so far, and 601 playthroughs. People have been tuning into this programme from 22 different countries. So it's really cool. On 10 votes then, leading the way in those audience choices is House Slaughter, directed by Thomas Peck. And this is a horror film from the USA. 2 newly acquainted college friends looking for a place to live find the ultimate deal, a cheap living arrangement in a large industrial house. We've then got a new one which we haven't spoken about yet, Albatross, directed by Raul Rodriguez from Mexico. We're seeing quite a few Mexican films here, which is really, really cool. This is on 6 votes, so just behind House Slaughter on 10. Shortly after his father's death, Ishmael attends a group therapy session. There he'll meet a person that could change the way he sees his grief and even his life. And then also on 6 votes is The Voodoo Vortex, directed by Tony Moore. This is a film noir crime film from the UK. Sam Steele is an Anglo-American detective hired to find a missing girl, but he soon gets embroiled in a dark web of organised crime as he tries to find out why the girl disappeared, where she could be, and why everyone is trying to kill him. So there we go.
There we go. So moving on to the final programme, we have features. So we have 37 viewers on 17 votes, 398 playthroughs, and 14 countries currently tuning in. The film that is currently in the lead is on 7 votes, and that is The Evening Word, directed by Theodore Guémeneau from France. So Pierre is getting ready to leave his student apartment and go back home to family for the summer. On the morning of the departure, he packs up his bags, does the dishes, and tidies up his place. But his mind is already elsewhere.
I just want to say Theodore joined our focus group yesterday.
Yes, he did, yeah.
And it was so nice to speak to you guys, and it was really nice to hear you all speaking so positively about each other's work. And this one, I know that the 2 guys who were also on the call loved it. So, yeah, congratulations, and it was really nice to speak to you all.
So we have 4 films that we're also going to highlight now, which are currently on 2 votes. Do you want to say the first one?
Sure. I Racconti del Santo Nero.
And No Plastic Horizon, The Making of a Man and The Man Who Knew Too Much. There we go.
There we go. So those are our festivals that are still live on Vimeo On Demand. So any of these films that have piqued your interest, you can still go and check those out.
We are now moving on to Los Angeles.
Whee!
And we will be announcing the winners today. It's been a long time in the coming. And just to recap, the winners that we're about to announce first, these are our overall winners and will be screening in Los Angeles at Raleigh Studios in September 2022. We'll then move on to season awards, and finally we'll wrap with the Audience Choice Award. Should we do a little drum roll? I feel like we haven't done one for ages.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Ready?
And
so the winners are...
we have Cosmoto, directed by Robin Mellor.
Look at that poster.
It is a fantastic documentary, a different approach to storytelling in a documentary form, so very well done.
And a topic that we care a lot about here, like we are big animal lovers here at Lift Off, and you know, anything about like anti-poaching, all sorts of things like that, we love it, don't we?
Exactly, so we look forward to sharing your film next year.
Very cool.
We also have Max Speed, directed by Danny Irizarry. This is, again, a fantastic film that we cannot wait to share with the LA audience. And then the final film that we'll be going through is In Spite of You, directed by Kevin Rodriguez. And it is fantastic again, and this is an Italian film, so we look forward to showcasing all of those 3 films.
Amazing. We've then got, though, as we said, our season awards. So we have got 3 nominations from the festival this year. Also, just quickly worth saying that we will still have plenty of slots by the time we end our festival circuit, because what happens then is the jury go back through all of the films they loved and they populate those leftover slots. So all hope is not lost.
No.
Final slots are announced in December. But for now, the 3 from this festival that are going through are Meet You at the Light, which picks up a nomination for Best Music Video. This is directed by Alexander Farrar.
Absolutely. And then we have Cosmotto again. Here it is, picking up a nomination for the Best Short Documentary category. And then finally we have Incident at a School, directed by Jacob Thomas Pilgaard, which has been nominated for Best Screenplay.
Fantastic. We also then have our Audience Choice Awards, which, as Natalie mentioned, is where we'll get you here on the channel, films playing muted in the background, doing sort of very chilled roundtable discussion where we can hear lots more about these projects that everyone loves so much. And those are Phantom Pain, directed by Henry James; REM, directed by Jason M. Johnson; Rattle Can, directed by Alexander Ray Pimentel; and lastly, A Guide to Being an Earthling by L.E. Woods.
This was very, very, very close. I have to say. It was margins in between the audience choices favourites there, but these are the 4 that have been selected to join us on YouTube.
Yeah, a huge congratulations. We do have one question from Cosa Nostra Productions, who is saying, can I see this information online? The LA information you absolutely can, but I saw your question pop up before that. This information, which we were shouting out before, is constantly changing because these are live statistics and audience choice tallies. But every few days you receive a daily score email, which is where you can see these, and all the finalists that do go through to the network round will be available on our website shortly.
Absolutely. And that is everything for another amazing week of watching films. Mm-hmm. The Los Angeles Festival has now wrapped, and we are heading that way for Amsterdam and Paris. Join us again next week, where we'll be breaking down the Amsterdam films that are making it through to the network round and the final roundup for Paris. All right.
Amazing.
Great. I think there's one final question there that just popped in.
It is from Michael, who says, have not found a way to vote for Paris films. So if you are a filmmaker who's screening, you can use your free filmmaker voting link. Or if you've purchased a ticket, in that same email with your ticket code, you'll find a voting form where you can select your 2 favourites. You have to be watching the festival, engaging with the festival in order to vote.
And then Mitchell Peters says, actor and writer from A Guide to Being an Earthling. Thank you for the audience choice.
Congratulations to everybody.
Thank you so much. We will see you next Friday. Bye-bye.
Bye.